So let's take our conversation forward. Feroze bhai joins us along with Sunil Subramaniam. Hello. I must say, man, you just surprise me every time. Always dapper, always neatly dressed. Film set के पे जा रहे हो या टीवी स्टूडियो में आ रहे हो फिरोज भाई?
निकुंज सर के साथ में बैठने आ रहा हूँ तो कुछ अच्छा दिखना चाहिए. मैं टी शर्ट पहन के बैठा था, मैंने कहा कुछ तो पहन लूँ, अपनी आबरू अच्छा रखूँ आपके सामने.
क्या एसआईपी फ्लो का नंबर है? दिल खुश हो गया. 26,000 करोड़. आई वॉज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस नंबर.
निकुंज सर देखियो, आप प्रचार करके फिर एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं करते हो. आपने बहुत लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टिंग का प्रचार किया है. जहां तक कि मैंने देखा है मीडिया थोड़ा सा नेगेटिव रहता है, बट आप न्यूट्रल रहते हैं, पॉजिटिव की तरफ झुकाव रहते हैं. सो यू बैलेंस इट आउट सुपर बिकॉज क्लाइंट्स ओवर नीड टू ओवरकम फियर इन इक्विटी. देखो रियल एस्टेट में लोग डरते नहीं है. रोज अगर ब्रोकर से मैं फोन करके प्राइस पूछूंगा मेरे घर का, हम दोनों तो पड़ोसी हैं, प्लैनेट गोदरेज का अगर हमने पूछा रोज तो ब्रोकर फोन उठाना बंद कर देगा 10 दिन बाद. बट व्हेन पीपल आर लुकिंग एट इक्विटी दे वांट टू लॉग इनटू एन ऐप एवरी इवनिंग एंड सी व्हाट इज द वैल्यू. So fear is automatically being induced because of the frequency of price discovery. So we have to be little more on the positive side to neutralize the disadvantage of equity, which is transparency itself is the disadvantage. So I'm not surprised if your viewers would be seeing and doing so much SIP, 26,400, and you have a large contribution to it, and I sincerely feel that.
Thank you very much. But the point, Feroze bhai, this is not an ordinary month. Jan is when the market really had turned tumultuous. Upar niche. First time the foundation of this bull market was shaken or tested. And yet the flows are strong. So touch wood. Touch wood. सब जगह wood है. Touch wood again. करो touch wood करो touch wood करो पहले.
बिल्कुल सर.
आप तो pencil लेकर touch wood ऐसे हो रहा है. That is for me, that is the encouraging side.
It is definitely very encouraging, sir. And if you look at, there was another pocket when Nifty itself disappointed in this period. Since when direct equity starts bleeding is when people start believing stocks are not doing well. The last these 40 days have been very topsy-turvy for stocks and direct equity holders. They bought good stocks, they thought, and they fell 30%, 40%. You see the October 21 to October 23. 2 years, Nifty series I remember because I'm also a derivative guy. So 18,558, 18,876. 2 साल घूम फिर के निफ्टी वहीं की वहीं आ गई. SIP number moved from 11,000 to 19,200 crores. 80% jump and markets did nothing, at least on the headline number. So I personally think I am very happy and very relieved that the long-term investor is putting in money for the long term. One thing is, if you draw up a context for a moment, you look at last 1 year household savings, it is 34 lakh 98,000 crores. 34 lakh 98,000 crores. 92% of that was debt and insurance based investments. So the point I'm trying to make is, however large the 26,400 might be, which is scaring people that people अंधों की तरह पैसा लगा रहे हैं, 8% ही लगाया भाई. Household savings का आप अंधों की तरह कैसे बता सकते हो? I was speaking to somebody, he says people are blindly putting into equity. Blindly is putting into equity is 92%. 8% को आप blindly नहीं बोल सकते. 43% की deposits last year. 43% of 35 lakh crore. That's a lot of money. अंधों की तरह हम डिपॉजिट में डालते हैं महंगाई को डिसरिस्पेक्ट करके. इट्स नॉट द अदर वे अराउंड.
एंड टैक्सेस भाई किधर हो? टैक्स तो एफडी में देना पड़ेगा.
बिल्कुल.
एसआईपी के अंदर द टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर्स आर वेरी डिफरेंट.
Very different.
And we underestimate the importance of tax. I always tell people that imagine somebody takes a bite of your ice cream. How will you feel? That is taxes.
Bite? Bites. Plural में बोलना. Bites.
Okay. Feroze bhai, I'll turn to you. I always say that you're always on my right side.
Yes, fortunately.
You have proprietary data because your business is to advise mutual clients which is a good mutual fund to buy in your scheme of things, and what asset allocation is the right asset allocation. First, first answer. Where are you on this small cap becoming a Humpty Dumpty debate? That SIP small cap is expensive, it is high risk, and next 3 years you will get no return. Would you endorse it, or you would say it is all opinion of an individual, we should ignore it?
See, I think small cap is too large an universe to make any generic statement. Let me give you some data. There's one small cap stock in the NSE small cap 250. The PE is 967. There is another small cap stock which PE is 4.88. एक PE है 4.88 की, उसको भी स्मॉल कैप करार दिया गया है और 967 वाली पीई को भी फॉर स्मॉल कैप. इसको कोई जेनरिक कर सकता है क्या?
They both are part of small cap indices.
Small cap NSE small cap 250 index.
Okay,
which
index
is what
में
fund
there
managers are supposed to track.
Exactly. Wow.
तो अब हाउ कैन यू वन साइज फिट्स ऑल, क्लाइंट में नहीं चलता, इंसानों में नहीं चलता, तो स्मॉल कैप स्टॉकों के कैसे आप ये कर सकते हैं? और दूसरा आंकड़ा मैं देता हूं आपको, आप देखें द स्मॉलेस्ट कंपनी ऑफ स्मॉल कैप has become 8 times larger in the last 5 years. The biggest company has become 7 times larger than 8,000 crore की थी, आज 60,000 crore की है, 68,000 crores की है. When a retail निवेशक is listening to you, he is not an intellectual finance, काम धंधा छोड़ के finance ही सीख रहा है. उसको आप small cap बोलते तो उसके जहन में, in his mind, he is not thinking 68,000 crore company, he is thinking the 500 crore की company.
Yeah.
Right? So English words seldom describe the mathematics which is behind it. So I think people with fiduciary responsibility of lakhs of crores, whom people look upon, have to make very responsible statements. That's my opinion. So I am from data. It tells me that if you do rolling returns, which is a very good proxy.
What are rolling returns, if you can break it for our viewers?
Yes, आपने कहा संक्षेप में बोलना,
नहीं,
तो मैं वापस आ सकता हूँ.
ये important है. What are rolling returns?
तो रोलिंग रिटर्न है, देखो 10 साल 10-year investors, SIP, I might started in 2004, so my 10 years finish in 2014.
Okay.
Nikunj sir might start in 2001, you might finish in 2011. So Sunil sir might start in 2007, he might finish in 2017. The rolling return concept takes the experience of several different investors of 10-year investments.
Okay.
So I've taken 109 people investing starting any first of the month and finishing 10 years later. So Naren sir is also right. There is a small possibility, 0.4% probability that the small cap fund SIP after 10 years gave a negative return. The chance is 0.4%.
That's it. Mathematically.
This is 109 investors starting from the last 24 years.
And these are randomly selected?
No, they are selected on 1st of Jan, 1st of February, every monthly
Mathematically
shift.
They are selected.
There is no bias. This is a random sample. Okay, 109 different investors. There is 99.6% chance that you can't lose money in a small cap.
Okay, on a 10-year basis, rolling
on a 10-year SIP चालू की था, right? And there is 99% chance, 90% chance that you will make more than FD.
Okay.
Now 85% chance that you will make more than 10% return, double-digit return. There is a 76% probability that you made more than 12% return in small cap. I have similar data for large cap and mid cap. You see, large cap's average return is 12.6.
Okay.
And small cap's average return is 14.
First, before I wrap, last question. Final word is always आपका ही होता है. Last word जिसे हम कहते हैं. There is a risk associated with small cap investing, and they say that when the market conditions are good, you should buy a small cap. When market conditions are beaten down, you should buy a small cap. But when market conditions are not great in terms of historic P multiple, macro concerns, the valuation comfort is not missing, when markets have already seen a 2-3 year of run up, small cap investing will attract higher risk. So for those who really want to tame risk or keep risk low, small cap investing is not a good idea.
Small cap investing as a proportion, see, independently small cap is not a good idea. If there's somebody who's put 80% of his money in small cap, I would definitely talk him out of it. But small cap is a constituent of a jigsaw puzzle. If you look at a 30 lakh crore household savings in mutual funds, only 3 lakh crores is in small cap. At a country level, our allocation to small cap is 10%. Now that's not outrageous, right? So I personally think small cap is a very, very good kicker to the portfolio, and it's not as risky as what people believe. There are 2-3 reasons why I believe that. See, Nifty में 50 स्टॉक है और 10 स्टॉक 70% की वेट खींच के बैठा है. स्मॉल कैप में 250 स्टॉक है और सबसे लार्जेस्ट वेट है 2% का, 2.5% का. सो बाय द वर्च्यू ऑफ इट्स डिवर्सिफिकेशन, द बीटा ऑफ स्मॉल कैप विथ निफ्टी इज 1.1. 10% ज्यादा रिस्की है ऑन पेपर, on Excel sheets, not in perception. Perception mein anybody can win the debate that small caps are 3 times more risky. I am speaking only Excel sheet. Only 10% more risky beta. One. Second is when bad times are there, right? I look upon this data. It really helps me soothe my nerves. I would probably want to read it out to the investor because this is how, as an investor, I enjoy my night sleep when times are
नहीं रात का
bad.
नेटफ्लिक्स समीर आए थे आज अरोरा साहब कह रहे थे दैट आई वांट टू इन्वेस्ट सो दैट आई कैन वॉच नेटफ्लिक्स एट पीस तो अभी वही कर रहे हैं
बिल्कुल नेटफ्लिक्स हाँ वो आजकल कंटेंट भी बड़ा दामाडोल है वो देखना क्या है
आवाज धीरे करो पड़ोसी आवाज आती रहती है
पड़ोसी है बिल्कुल
थोड़ी आवाज धीरे करिए
हाँ, बिल्कुल मैं आपसे म्यूट पे देखूंगा एयरपोर्ट लगा के आपने कह दिया बस बात खत्म है अब एक चीज में ये डेटा पढ़ देता हूँ सर आई कॉल दिस जितना डराता है उतना कमाता है डेटा दिस इज जितना डराता है उतना कमाता है डेटा नाउ लेट्स लुक एट एसआईपी we looked at which are the SIPs, the unlucky investors, so-called, after 5 years, there were 9% of investors after 5 years in SIPs, in Nifty, had a negative 3% return.
Okay.
5 साल बाद ऐसे 9% लोग हैं जिसकी नेगेटिव रिटर्न थी निफ्टी में SIP करके, -3. The same guys, if they actually had the steel nerves and waited for the subsequent 5 years and made it a 10-year period, the IRR of the full 10-year period was 21.6.
This is Nifty.
This is Nifty alone. Okay. So the bad news you get in the first 5 years is a reasonable indication that the subsequent 5 years the market will do significantly better. Because market जब गिरती है ना हल्के हाथ साफ कर देती है.
जी हाँ जी हाँ जी.
तो फिर जब रैली आती है like COVID पूरे हल्के हाथ साफ हो गए. Then there are very solid hands. Those fund managers who own stuff for 10-15 years, not in TV interviews, but in actual demat accounts, right? Yeah. Everybody in TV interviews say, buy right, sit tight, right? Now, so the point I'm trying to make is, if anybody has a small cap strategy, I was testing a beta strategy, smart beta strategy. Look at any stock which has, in the small cap space, choose the least volatile 50 stocks. And you buy them, that implies that their ownerships are very stable. They've always outperformed. So this small cap में बहुत opportunity है दिमाग लगाने की अगर कोई fund manager लगाना चाहे.
So I'll just summarize today's lovely interaction that small cap should not be out of your portfolio. But if you have small cap, increase your time horizon. In equity as an asset class, the minute you increase your time horizon, your chances of return increases. There are some schemes where the first 5 years of investing, you may have made negative returns or no returns. But the minute you make 5-10, the returns in a sense are something which are not only beating inflation, they give you huge advantage on taxes, and the amount of wealth what you would create is something which is phenomenal. So you don't know if in the 10-year period, the first 5 would be bad or the first 5 would be great. I really hope that the bad is over and the great 5 is coming. And with that, we'll wrap this edition of Deep Dive with Nikunj. Feroze bhai, thank you very much. And Sunil sir, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.